Hi everyone, welcome back to my tutorial. I hope you are doing well. Last time we did the veining and the undertone. Today we will do the mottling. That's a very fun step. I like it very much. It's where you can let go your creativity. So I will show you how to prepare your sponges and how to mix your paint for the mottling. First, you will need some sponge. I prefer to use those. They are quite firm, not too firm, but quite firm. Square, not too big. They are easy to get a nice pattern with them. Those are cosmetic wedge. Brand is off, but it's Lori. Maybe you can see it there, Lori. Any brand can do. You need without latex. It's very important. I know McPherson sell some sponge. They are great too. I'm not sure about Bountiful Baby. It's been a long time since I bought something from them. Maybe they have some too. Also, you can use those makeup type of sponge for mottling. They work very well too, but they are more expensive. And for air dry, the problem we got with those sponge is that paint can dry around there and can make it difficult to reuse them unless you wash them very soon after you are done. So the purpose of the mottling is to give to the skin a lifelike look. It will show the blood circulation under the skin. Everyone have mottling of some sort. Sometimes just on the palm of the hands, sometimes everywhere. I am a person that got mottling about almost everywhere. I got on my hands, on my arms. Not sure if you can see all the mottling. Newborns are the same as adults. Some have a lot of mottling, some other don't have a lot of mottling. I have a finished limb here. I can show you the mottling on this one. Not sure if you can see all the little spot paler than the rest. You will achieve something like that with different color and different pattern on your sponge. You can use as many or as little color that you want to use. There's no rule in mottling. It will give you your skin tone. A lot of color on the kit will be made with the mottling part. You will need a tweezer, and the first step is to remove the corners of your sponge. Then you can remove some part of the side to avoid most of the straight lines. After that, you will pick up some part in the sponge to create little holes. They can be independent, or they can be linked to one another. It's really up to you. Don't make them too large. You can make them very small, like in this sponge, and make some more larger one. That is another example of what I did with one of my mottling sponge. You can use only one, but it's good to have a few different patterns. It will let show the color better. I try to speak English today. It's difficult for me. I have a cold. My nose is stiff. We'll try to be clear. So that's another one that will do the job. As for the color, you can use all three of your primary color as they are, or you can mix them together. You can use already made color. I like to use dioxazine purple. I like to use this color already made, but if you don't have this one, you can just mix blue and red. I like to use raw umber. You can use other type of brown. I mixed the brown, a little bit of brown with my red. That gives me bloody red color. You can use this yellow, but you can also use ochre. Very nice for mottling. You can use pink. And one type of pinkish color that I like is redone magenta. Gives a really nice pink without having to mix white in them. So any color you wish, you can use green. Any color you wish to add, you can at this step. You will mix them a little bit a little bit less dilute than the paint, the wash. Not too dark, but just a little bit darker. You don't need a lot, just put a drop of paint. I will add a little bit of brown. We'll put it there and use a brush to mix. Just a touch to mix with my red. Just to have a darker red. It's a bit. It looks a bit like blood. You will put some medium in it. Not too much. About twice the amount of paint. Twice or triple the amount of paint. Mix it very well with your paint. And for the mottling with air dry, if you add too much water, you will have a bubble. So it's better to use more medium and a bit less water in your mix. You want something that looks a bit like cream and not milk. You can test your color on a white tissue. So we want something that is translucent, not too dark, but a bit darker than your wash. I know it's hard from a video. You can see in person what it looks like. So you will have to test your color somehow, because you know that when you put the paint on the kit, you cannot remove it. I think I will add a little bit more medium. If you have a test piece, that's the best option to test your color to see if it's good for you. If you don't, I will show you where you can test it. You put some paint on your sponge with a paintbrush, then you dab it just a little bit on the paper to remove excess. You start with your head. And why? It's because you want to test the color without any mistake. You don't want to test it on the face or on the arm. You want somewhere that you can hide. If the color is very dark, you can hide it. So with my sponge, I will just press gently. And then with the side, I will go ahead and press another time on top. That will help blending and remove any excess paint. You don't want the paint to pool, to drop. So you will use your sponge like a stamp. You can do small section. Then with the side, just go over and press. Don't rub, just press on it. I'm not sure if you can see, the light is very terrible. So it will show, but not excessively, just a little bit. You want it to show, but not be too much. You don't want something very flashy. You go ahead and you make your way all around. If you see that your paint is making bubble like that, if it's making too much bubble, it's possible that you have too much water in your paint mix. You can add a bit more medium, or it's possible that you press too hard on your sponge. You want to be very gentle with your sponge. No need to press very hard. Some people like to do mottling everywhere. Some others prefer not to do mottling on the face. I like to do it everywhere because first I like how it looks, but I want an even skin tone, and as the mottling do almost half, if not more, of the skin tone. I want to apply it everywhere, but often what I do is when my sponge almost ran out of paint, that's when I do the cheek, chin and nose, etc. Don't forget to put some on the ears. So, I'm not sure if you can see the difference already. Not a big difference, but you can see some color. And when you do different color of mottling, you will see the skin come alive. For the arms, it's the same. You can start under or on the shoulder if you wish. That way, if you make a mistake, it's more easy to hide it. I put paint on my sponge. You can tap one time on the paper and go ahead and do your mottling. A good tip is to turn your sponge as you go to avoid the pattern to repeat itself too much. And that's a good thing to add different sponge, because you will, as you add more color, you will hide some part of what you did with the first color. So when you have different pattern, the first layers show off more. I will do a leg, same as before. I'm not sure if you have seen that with the arm. I did also mottling on top of the end and on the palm of the head, the end, sorry. So I did put mottling everywhere. And it's very something that is personal preference. Some people like mottling very much, some others don't. So you go with what you prefer. I like mottling, so I put it the darker, as dark as I can, and everywhere I can. We'll do the rest later. We'll show you other color. We'll show you the pink. That's a color that you don't use in the primary method usually, but like I said, I really like it for the mottling. You can also use it for the blush if you want. Personally, I prefer to use a bloody red for my blush, but if you want a pinkish baby, you can use that. It's a way to get pink without having to add white. And why you don't want to add white is because if you add too much white in your paint, you can have something that is very chalky at the end. So like the same thing that I did for the red. I add my medium, and this one is highly pigmented, so I have to be careful. Golden is a highly pigmented paint. Really, you have to add a lot of products to get it to work for reborning. Color are very nice, vibrant, they stay, they don't fade easily, but yeah, they are really pigmented. So as you can see, that's a very nice bright pink. You can take the same sponge or you can use a new one. I like to have at least 2 sponges, and I alternate between them at each color. So we will make a test to see if the paint is dilute well enough. If it's too pale that you didn't see anything, you can add a little bit more paint to your mix. And then again in the back of the head, I try my color. It's very faint, almost invisible, so I will add a touch of paint in the mix. I want it to show. This time it looks good. It's possible that you can see very well with the pink over the red, but it's there, don't worry. And the order I make them now, it's not necessarily always the same order. You can mix the order. You can go with blue or yellow. That's not that doesn't matter. Usually I like to go with red, then blue, then pink, then purple. Just alternate between warm color and cold color, but at the end the result is almost the same. So you can see I don't rub my sponge, I just press, not too hard. I don't want to push too hard, I just want to tap it a little bit to remove any excess and to blend the mottling well. Try to not forget the base of the neck. It's easy to miss, but you need to put it everywhere to get your color. I will show you the pink. I will show you the pink on a limb that I did not put the red mottling on it, so you can see by itself. So look, I try my best with the color, the light. It's less dark than the red, but it shows. So the next color, I will not use the purple that I had, I will just mix it by myself. We'll put the paint on the side. It's easier when you want to mix color. It's easier like that than to mix already in the place you want to use your paint. So just a touch of red, a touch of blue, you mix until you get the purple that you want. It can be very red, it can be more blue, it's up to you to see what you like and what you want. We'll add a little bit more blue. Add a little bit of medium. And don't worry about the quantity of medium and water. You will find your recipe. You can use a tool like a little spoon, something like that, to get the right quantity every time. I go directly with the bottle. When you are pleased with the color, you can go ahead and do it. That's a dark reddish purple. If you want something more blue, just add a little bit less red and play with it. You can get different type of purple with different type of red and different type of blue. I have made a video last year about the color mixing. I'm not sure if I have made it in English too, I think. Not sure. Anyway, you can see the result of mixing different type of blue and red. It's the same for the green. So you can play with that until you get the color that you like. So I put on my sponge, tap a little bit on the paper, and let's see if it's dilute well enough. A little bit dark, but that will work for me. If you prefer to do it lighter, you can. Don't worry. It's up to you. Just be careful with the blue colors, because it can really look like bruise if you are not careful with those blue. But mine has enough red in it, I think. Okay, now the last color I will show you is the blue, but you can do as many color as you wish. There's no problem with that. Go with what you feel will be appropriate. I just put a little dot of paint. I will add my medium. I put a little bit more medium in the blue because blue can be very tricky. I think I have some red left in my paintbrush. Add a little bit of water, and I will add more blue if I feel that it's not enough, but I want to be careful with it. Like I said, a baby too blue does not look healthy at all. I think it's not dark enough, so I will add a little bit more to see. And I will continue to add a little bit at a time just until I get what I want. I find it easier to go like that to avoid having a lot of paint, because you have too much paint and you can't dilute enough, and you add more medium and you add more water, soon you got a bunch of paint mix. If you want to try this way, it works very well too. So I got my blue. Just a tad bit darker than my wash. Take my sponge, apply some paint on the sponge, you can dab a little bit. And I will add my blue layer. With the blue, you will have some difficulty to see it. Don't worry, it's still there, but it's not as visible as the red colors. And I didn't say it, but avoid to go over the same spot again and again. Try not to go over what you just already did. You will have blotchy patches. You want clear holes. Don't want patches. And that's it for the mottling. If you think that it's not enough, you can go ahead and redo more of one or all of the color if you wish to, especially if you have diluted them a lot. You can go and make more layers of mottling. You can try orange, you can try green, you can try different type of red, you can try just red. There's no problem with that. Try not to bring it too dark also, because we will have to add more washes over. But that's it for the mottling. If you want to see comparison of the two, I will. So she already has a lot more color and depth and dimension to it than this one that has only 3 layers of washes. So you see the difference already. She's already coming alive, but there's still a lot to do. As you can see, this one is done, and you see the difference in the skin tone. This one was darker already, you can see here, but it's the difference between one that is not finished and one that is finished. So we still have a lot of work to do with it. Next time I will show you how to do the crease. The crease, they are all those little lines on your kit. Then after that we will add more washes. Then after we will do the blushing and the details. So maybe three more videos, two or three, depending. So I hope that was helpful and that you are enjoying the process so far. Don't worry, you will not get something perfect at the first try, even at the 4th or 5th or 10th try maybe. It takes a lot of practice. You will not be good at it at the first try. It's very, very, very rare someone that got it at the first try. So don't lose hope. You will get there eventually. It's a hobby, so do it for the fun, do it for the peace that it brings, do it for the art, enjoy every step, and if you make mistake on the way, you can start over. I have a video on how to strip a kit. You can erase what you did and start over on the kit. For example, that's one that I have stripped. I have stripped this one. I was at the rooting part. You can see all the little hair still in there. I have trouble taking them out, but I have trouble because the hair wouldn't go inside well, and I decide to just strip the head and start over. So it's totally possible to reuse the same kit if you are not happy with the outcomes. So don't be too harsh on yourself. You will get result if you keep practicing, and it's no need to buy a lot of new kits. 1 or 2 kits to begin. My first one, I redid it about 15 times until get all orange stain. And after that I make a vampire with him because it was he was too stained. But it's totally possible to practice with 1 or 2 kits again and again and again until you get the hang of it, and you are becoming better with the technique and trying to understand the steps and the process. So that's all I have to say for today. So I will see you next time with the creasing. Have a nice day. Goodbye.